Dun, 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 dun. Isabella, thank you for coming. Well, all the way from Ecuador, but even more so, coming while you're on vacation. Just like,
yes.
just like all we see is a pot now.
Yeah, I actually,
It's just like,
yes.
just like,
Because
so first I probably should go over the
other
ingredients.
one.
I mean, it's very
But you're
simple.
going to do the brown sugar first, is that right?
Actually, this recipe uses the regular sugar for the caramel and brown sugar for the cake, for the batter.
Okay. Oh, I better get the butter.
So I mean,
Yeah, so,
if you want to be lazy,
go
you can just use the cake mix. But I mean, quite literally, all that's in a cake mix is flour, baking powder, some sugar, and then a flavor, sugar. Now, one thing I did learn is it could say sugar, but there is one type of sugar that doesn't caramelize. And there's no way to figure it out really until you start trying to do it. It's complicated. Butter.
Yeah.
Some eggs. Look at these. It's almost like it's Easter. These all came naturally out of the chicken's butt. Well, not really their butt, but that's like all the different natural colors of eggs. And I love making pineapple upside down cake. Quite literally, I've made it so many times that, can you see my racks of cans? This row is pineapples. I have different racks of cans. So, all right, enough of me. Isabella, first of all, you don't call this pineapple upside down cake. What do you call it?
Oh, in Spanish, we do call it pineapple. Volteado de Piña, which literally means upside down pineapple cake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm ready to cook.
Okay. Yeah. So I use like the regular sugar that we get here is the one that caramelizes. So we're gonna start doing the caramel first because we have to let it sit in the pan. So I'm gonna start doing that. So it's 1 cup of white sugar, regular granulated sugar.
Yeah, last time I used this sugar to try to make caramel, and I mean, quite literally, it just says granulated sugar, and it wouldn't caramelize. And so I looked it up. So I'm gonna this time just use some brown sugar.
So are we doing the top, thing that's going to go in the bottom of the pan right now?
Correct.
Yes, the caramel first, and we put it in the pan.
Okay.
And I do add a little bit of water to the sugar, but barely to make it damp. Like it doesn't even have to be completely covered with water, just to make it damp.
But doesn't it cook while it's cooking the cake?
Let me look at the recipe.
Sorry?
This is 1 cup of sugar, right? This is for the caramel.
Yes. The 1 cup of sugar, in the recipe it says granulated sugar, I think, is the white sugar. That's for the caramel. And the other sugar, the brown one, is 1.5 cups, and that's for the cake mix.
So I'm just going to use brown sugar
sure.
for all of it myself.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Me too, or
Yeah, Suzanne, have you ever had the problem of white sugar not caramelizing?
I don't think so.
I just had it that one time. It was just, I mean, I just got this from the local store, and it actually, the secret is to put this at like almost the lowest temperature. But yeah, I mean, basically, I added a little water to it. It totally became liquid
Yes, just a little bit.
and then dehydrated back to regular sugar.
So how much is a little bit? Like a fourth of a cup or an eighth of a cup or what?
I just
Couple
Uh,
teaspoons
do
or
it
tablespoons.
a
Oh,
little, like
tablespoons, okay.
just make it damp. Don't even completely cover it with water, just until it looks like, I told Or last time, like when it looks like wet sand, maybe. It's wet, but not completely covered with water. And that's it. And then, and
I
wait,
mean, the
and wait, and wait.
first time I made caramel, I put way too much water and it took forever. But, so I've got mine at,
So mine is on the stove. Yes, at the lowest I can. But it's already starting to boil mine.
oops, I'm not showing the right camera here. So I actually put 3 tablespoons, well, 2 tablespoons so far. This is a quarter cup. If I remember right, that's 3 tablespoons. So I've got a little extra in there waiting.
So
But-
then after that, do you put the pineapple?
No,
No.
we're just making a caramel with this part.
Yes.
Well, the caramel, isn't that the one that goes on the bottom in the pan?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
But you
Oh,
have to
make
let
the
it sit
caramel
and
first?
harden, and then, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So basically I put 2 tablespoons of water in. And then I have it set at mine is 2 out of 9, the temperature. And actually, I read the less you stir it, the better.
Oh my God, I've been stirring
Yes.
it because the water isn't going in all
Well, you can
places.
stir it until it's all damp and then you just let it stir. But
Oh,
in
okay.
my case, it's brown sugar. So it's, almost instantly seems caramelized. But if you're doing white sugar, you definitely don't want to stir it very much. But if you look at Isabel, hers is just barely simmering.
Yes.
Like she has it at a really low temperature, but it's got some bubbles. Mine doesn't have any bubbles yet, but it's liquefying. So, and you see the outside edges is liquefying, but actually,
Yeah.
so I just put 2 tablespoons in there. So I've got an extra tablespoon in my, dump that out. So I've even been lazy on making it and just literally just got my baking pan and just put the brown sugar on the bottom. When I was
That's
in
what
a
my
hurry.
mother used to do.
If I made like 4 or 5 of them all at once, I would just, put a cup of brown sugar in the bottom of the pan and then put the pineapple on top of it. But
Oh, yeah, you said that last time.
so, but
Mine's boiling, but still very, clear. It's not caramel yet.
but it looks like to us, yours is like starting to change colors already. But
Barely, yes.
can you get the camera any closer or? Yep, see how much it's bubbling?
Yes.
I think I need to turn mine up. Mine's still not bubbling. I mean, mine's almost. All right.
That, not sure if you can see the flame. It's not, it's the lowest I can in that stove.
Okay. Oh, mine's starting to bubble
And
now.
I usually, this stove is practically the same as the one that I have in the city.
Yeah, look at, can you see how much mine's bubbling now? So
Yes.
just like,
Uh-huh.
But the hardest thing is to not stir it. Oh my
Oh, I'm
goodness.
stirring it.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, just be patient and wait and wait.
Why not stirring?
If you stir it, it crystallizes. It will crystallize in the borders anyway because of the bubbles. But if you stir, the walls will be covered. I mean, it will crystallize. That's why they say don't stir.
Okay.
it will crystallize instead of caramelize. And I thought that was my mistake in the past ones because they kept just crystallizing and I was like, what am I doing wrong? So I tried like 5 different times and I need to find out. I have a friend who's a chemist and they told me that there's one type of sugar that doesn't caramelize and I need to find out which one that is. Someone knows, let me know. The problem is you can't tell at the store.
No, it's a synthetic, it's a certain way how it is cured and those don't caramelize. I think they're called super fine or something like that.
But I mean, it's still on the bag. It says
Oh,
granulated
yeah,
sugar.
I know. Yeah.
So I have a quick question. My sugar and water is doing absolutely nothing. Let me show you the picture of it.
Is it liquefied?
No, it's kind of just a big blob.
How much water did you put in?
Probably about 2 tablespoons.
Oh, that's good. So you have
And
your
I
flame
have it on.
going at
I have
about
it-
half,
Say again?
about halfway up to the heat.
Oh, turn it up. Okay. I
And
think
then once it starts boiling, turn it down.
we did this once before and I was unsuccessful. I don't remember what dish we were making, but it's looking.
Yeah, I mean, that's why this time I didn't even use white sugar. I went straight to the brown because I've had a lot of problems with the cheap white sugar we have in the US.
Okay. I'll be patient.
What do they say? Be patient or become one.
Be patient.
Just like, so. All right, let's see, what's the next step?
Sugar, the brown sugar with the butter.
All right,
So add
Do you
the
want to
butter.
continue doing that?
We're gonna add butter to that?
no,
No.
No, this is just the caramel, then we put it in the pan and then we let it rest.
we can use the same pan for the melting of the butter.
For the what?
I wouldn't see why we couldn't use the same pan for melting of the butter.
So what
Oh.
are we doing now? We're gonna melt the butter like in the microwave or what?
No, after this, in the mix, I mean, I use this one, but we're going to mix the sugar with the butter
Oh, you
aside.
mean you're gonna make the cake?
Well, I store my butter
Yes.
in the freezer, so my butter's frozen, so I'm gonna have to melt it.
So actually, doesn't the butter go in the brown sugar?
No,
Oh,
I
thought-
mean, wait, in the brown sugar, yes, but not in the caramel.
So right now we're making caramel. Then once that caramel's made,
Just the caramel.
you
Oh,
pour
mine
the
is
caramel in the pan. So because I use brown sugar, my caramel's done already.
Mine is ready.
So basically, there's my caramel. And then you just pour it in your baking pan.
Mine is ready.
Oh, look at that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, because my butter, I
Moving
store
so
my
quickly.
butter, what's that, Isabel? So I store my butter in the, my baking butter in the freezer, so I need to melt it.
Oh, okay.
It should have been I forgot to take it out and set it out on the counter. So there's the caramel, like a layer of caramel in the baking pan. So we're looking at slightly less than 2 sticks of butter.
So let me ask you a question. At this stage, we're creaming the 1.5 cups of brown sugar with the near 2 sticks of butter, right? It's going to be that creaming process of softened butter more than melted.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
So I shouldn't melt this butter completely then. You just really want soft butter.
Yes. Okay, so my caramel is ready. I moved the pan to make it cover the whole bottom.
Oh, you have one of
and
those nice
then-
round pans, huh?
Yes. Actually, I got this one yesterday. It's the first time that I'm using it.
I like, what do they call those ones where they separate like that?
It's spring
Here?
form.
Yeah, there's springform.
A spring, yeah, there you go, spring pan.
Mhm.
So look at my caramel already has thickened, almost hardened on the bottom of the pan. But yeah, I made the mistake of not taking the butter out and allowing it to get the room temperature. I just realized like 15 minutes ago that I didn't have butter in my fridge. So I had to go get some in the freezer. But let's see. So we mix this, the butter and the brown sugar, the 1.5 cups of brown sugar in the bottom of the mixing bowl, right?
Yes. And we just cream it.
All right. Brown sugar, 1.5 cups brown sugar. Here's my. Look at you, Isabella. You got it. Your camera right overhead like a professional cook.
Yeah, perks of being in this kitchen that has I don't know how these are called, like shelves right on top of a fridge, a freezer. So I can put the phone there. In Guayaquil, it's harder to get the phone on top of something.
Are you saying your mom's kitchen is better?
The other one is my mom's too. It's my parents. They have the tree house and this house, but yeah, this one has better features to do this kind of thing.
You make this cake very frequently? Because this cake for me, I like doing when it's cold because it makes me think of summer.
It's never cold here.
So, okay. What makes you want to make this cake then?
My mom loves pineapple. We love pineapple pie, but
What's a
just
pineapple
to,
pie?
during the pandemic, just to try to do something different with pineapple, I started doing this.
What's a pineapple pie? How is that?
It's just I don't know that recipe actually. That's my mom's recipe.
Okay.
Very
But it just
old.
looks like a regular pie when you're done, huh?
Yes, the base is the regular base, like the dough that you extended and then put it on the pan, and then she just adds pieces of pineapple. I mean, you slice down the pineapple, cut it in cubes. We usually do that here. I never buy canned stuff here because we get fresh fruit any day. So you cut the pineapple and then add pieces of, the pineapple there and pieces of butter and sprinkle sugar on top of it, and that's it. It's really quick, but I don't know that recipe. I have never done it. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna mix the brown sugar with the butter.
Where's my? I misplaced my. I'm gonna have to try it again, but the other day I have a friend who's lactose intolerant, so I made a vegan tres leches, which
Oh,
is a funny thing to call it because
tres leches.
it's not really milk, I guess, but it was soy milk, coconut cream, and coconut milk. But all right, that's mixed up. What's next? Oh, I forgot I was going to do a double recipe. Oh well.
You're making double the recipe?
I was going to. I took out 2 cans of pineapple, but I forgot to do it from the beginning, so now I have to start over.
So my sugar did what, or you said your sugar does. It just turned back into white granulated sugar.
Yeah, I have to figure out what kind of sugar that is that does that. Here, can you show us a close-up? Yeah,
Can you
because I
see
mean,
it?
basically it liquefies, completely liquefies, and then it just dehydrates the water off and turns back into regular hard sugar.
So what do I do?
Just like,
Start over with brown sugar?
yeah.
Okay, thanks. I
Right.
got ketchup.
We need to
to do.
figure out what kind of sugar that is that does that, but it's
Just all these brand sugar. White
I mean,
sugar.
mine is just regular granulated white sugar, and it's just there's a cheap type of white sugar out there that apparently doesn't caramelize.
So I can go ahead and do a cup of brown sugar and it'd be fine.
Yep, a cup of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of water, and it caramelizes.
And it doesn't matter what pan, because what I'm gonna do is do 2 loaf pans. Is that,
Okay.
Would that work?
I think the spring pan just gives you a lot more caramelized surface, right? But I don't think it matters what type of pan you use.
All right.
But I'm not sure how easy it will be to take it off the mold of
Oh
the.
yeah, that's true.
So this is it's a non-stick coating and it has straight sides, so I can run a knife around the edge, long as the bottom pops out.
Okay.
Well, I'll let you know how it goes, but I got to get cooking the.
Yeah, because I have just a 8 by 12. So I should have used the spring pan. I have one. All right, Isabel, what's next? We made.
Okay, so after we have the butter with the sugar, just add the eggs 1 by 1.
Let's see, how many eggs? 4.
4.
No separation, just plop them in. Well, take them out of the shell.
Oh. Yeah, 1 by 1. I mean, add one and mix, add one and then continue mixing. This is how I do all the cakes. I mean, I don't know if it makes any difference, but this is how I learned to do cakes, and I always do it the same way. Add one egg, mix, and then the other egg.
All right. This is a good recipe for Easter, I guess, a good recipe for any time, I guess.
Hey, Barbara, no eating, okay? You're already tasting the whole cake away.
What was that?
Barbara is eating it. The cake tasting here, I did see that.
Well, the only thing they say, you're not supposed to taste the raw egg part, but that's not the case in Europe because they actually inoculate the chickens against.
Yeah, I always use raw eggs.
So
Oh, well.
US, you're not supposed to get raw egg.
I think most cooks sample their cooking as they're going along.
All right, this is 4 cups of flour. So
I've been tasting cookie dough and cake dough ever since I was a kid. And so I've never gotten sick from it.
So you've built up a tolerance, you think?
Maybe.
I do that here too, and I'm pretty sure they do nothing to the eggs.
All right.
But I have to tell you guys that I cheated. I was in the dollar store yesterday and they had a pineapple, cake, you know what I mean, for $1. So I bought it. So,
But I mean, the pineapple cakes, what do they have? It's a cake mix and then a little
That's
can
it.
of pineapples
yeah,
in the box.
well, it's artificial flavor, I bet, But so I cheated. So I'm not going through all the stages. I've done it so many times. I used to have a bakery.
So do you ever use the sifter? I just got the sifter.
I
because-
use a sifter sometimes. Yeah, but I use them. They're good.
In the old days, people always used to sift flour, but I don't think they do it so much anymore.
Yeah.
in the
'Cause it
bag,
takes
it's like
longer.
pretty good already.
I think it's already well sifted nowadays, more than in the old days.
Well, it depends on what kind of flour you buy. Sometimes if you buy the cake flour, it is. But if you buy the regular flour that everybody buys, it actually needs to be sifted.
I will sift my powdered sugar.
Not your flour?
Sometimes I'll sift the flour.
I guess it's just how fancy or how quality. If I'm making 4 or 5 cakes, I basically open a fresh bag of flour and don't sift it. It's a lot of work. It's extra work. All right, so that was 1 cup. I think I might have get ahead of Isabel. Did we lose her?
Yeah, and then another thing is, you're supposed to measure the sifted flour, not the whole flour you put in there, because you're going to have air in the sifted flour. So if you add the regular flour that hasn't been sifted, it's going to be a little bit heavier and probably more than what you need.
Yeah, so I guess, if you're being really
Picky.
Isabel, we lost you on the phone, but we can see you on the laptop.
Oh, well, oh, really? No, I'm on. I Isabel. Okay. No, I had a bakery in Lagos, Nigeria for about 5 years with employees. And so we made a lot of cakes. Mostly
Wow.
birthday cakes and wedding cakes.
You're going to be on our baking, on Or's baking food list.
Yes, I am in 2 weeks' time. We're making a lemon meringue pie, and I hope you will be able to do that, Fred.
Oh, and this is from the famous no fault crust.
Well, that's my mom's recipe, and it works. No fail crust.
When's Suzanne doing her boring ass soup?
That's next week. I'm gonna do that
So,
too.
I mean, one
Oh,
thing
shit.
I did learn, Barbara, you could probably teach me more about baking is, you know, how precise, but I feel like this recipe has a lot of leniency to it. But
Well, I mean, either the cake is gonna be a little lighter or heavier.
so you said I'm supposed to sift it,
You're supposed to
but I
measure
mean,
it.
like a lot of cake recipes or a lot of baking recipes measure everything out.
Yeah.
This one's saying by volume instead of weight. And so that, therefore, in my mind, it gives leniency.
Mhm.
I've heard that people do it by weight, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want to be very precise, you need to do it by weight. Because let's see here. So I put a cup of flour in there, then I sifted it, and it became 3/4 of a cup.
Oh,
That's
that's
funny.
something.
It actually became less.
Well,
So,
yeah, you have a KitchenAid there, so once you mix it up, you can tell by the, you know, the dough if it looks right or not. If it's too thin, it's not too good. If it's too thick, it's not too good.
Okay, so I need to show you guys my brown sugar. I moved it, I did it in a. Now, because it's a dark brown sugar, it looks caramelized, but can I go ahead and just use this? Or is it too liquidy?
I can't see it.
yeah, shake the bowl around so we can see what the consistency
I mean, it's
sort of
supposed
is.
to be liquidy. Yeah. That looks pretty good. I'd give
Can I
it
go
about another minute. And then, you know, it should be liquid, you know, pourable liquid, which it
Alright.
is.
It's smelling like it's burning a little bit. I think I'm calling it done. Okay,
Okay. Well,
Right.
isn't that what caramelizing is burning?
It's right before it burns.
So let's see. So far in here, I've got the butter, the sugar, the flour. And I need to add, the pineapple juice from the can.
Oh, but you haven't need to measure that.
It's like, what does it say? It says 1/2 cup of the syrup, so not use all of it. Because if I used all of it, how much is that? So yeah, if I use all of that, that's a cup of liquid. So I just pour 1/2 of it in there and then we'll see how it comes out.
Now, or could you just mail me that half? Because I'm actually not making pineapples because I don't have any pineapple. So I'm just
So
gonna.
you need
gonna
this
put
extra
banana.
juice?
Mhm, yeah.
I mean, now I made the mistake of like, it's got flour in it, so I can't drink it now.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
might have to like pour this
Make
over
another-
the cake after it bakes to give it a
Give-
extra moisture.
Or you can make another
No.
cake.
We keep losing Isabel's phone, huh?
We keep losing Isabel.
Just like, so I need to add her as the spotlight again here, huh? Or it just keeps losing the spotlight. All right, there she is back on the spotlight. Isabel, you have to turn your sound on so we can hear you. And then let's see. And then I need to add just a little bit of baking powder. Now I always mess up and I put the wrong amount. Like I'll put, instead of a teaspoon, I'll put a tablespoon or the other way around. So, okay, good. This one's spelled out. It says a tablespoon of baking powder. So. Now that definitely I should sift it because that has, the baking powder here has clumps in it. So. And also, I mean, Barbara, isn't it like, you know, if your baking powder is old, you're gonna have to put a little more.
Yeah, they say that's true. I never had a problem myself, but
Yeah, neither have I.
Oh wait, I better put my guard on here, otherwise things are gonna go all over the place. Should be. This recipe is in English and Spanish.
Uh-huh.
Just like, oh, look at, what kind of measuring spoon is that, Isabel? I think mine is too thin. Look at this. See, it's like really thick. I mean, not
that's too thick, too
too
thick.
thick.
You need some more liquid.
Well, I have another half a cup of pineapple juice.
Definitely use it. Oh, you haven't put the eggs in yet, have you?
Oh yeah, I have.
Oh, you did? You put the
Yep.
eggs in? Oh,
There is no water, but the recipe doesn't call for any.
yeah, yeah. Stir that one up and see how it goes. Yeah, it's too, it's too thick.
I mean, that's part of it is like, how dry is your flour, huh? I mean, it's still pretty thick, see?
Yeah, it's still pretty thick. Maybe you put too much flour in. Or maybe your eggs weren't big enough or something.
Yep, that's the. So.
Don't you remember the last time you made it, what your dough looked like?
Oh yeah, it was very liquidy.
Yeah, that's too thick.
Yep. So.
What about Suzanne? Suzanne, how you doing, hon?
I was trying to figure out what to use for extra liquid, so I have some applesauce that I made.
Oh, that'll be nice.
I
think
heard
that's
that
good.
you can just use applesauce instead of eggs. That's pretty much a standard practice.
I'm also gonna use more pineapple juice because it's dry. And I still have to add 1 cup of flour.
Yeah, I put all the pineapple juice and it's still too dry, I think. I'm gonna probably add a little water to it.
Well, I'll tell you, I used a cake mix and it called for 1 cup of liquid,
I did put a little
which
milk
was
in.
mostly the juice, but a little bit, I added a little bit of water to make 1 cup.
But this one has 4 cups of flour. I think cake mixes usually are only 2.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
That's a
so
lot of flour. Use some milk maybe.
it's just like,
Well, I was going to use kind of an oblong pan like that. Then I thought, well, if I turn it over, what do I turn it over with? I have to have a good tray. And, I really didn't have a good tray for. to
I
turn it
don't-
over.
I don't turn it over. I just eat it out of the pan.
Oh, you do? Yeah, but then you miss all how it looks.
Oh yeah, that's true. So, all right. I'm gonna add a half a cup of water to mine because I want it a little liquidy. Here, right. I mean, mean, it should be pourable. See, it's even with another half a cup, it's still, I feel too thick.
Maybe you should add another egg.
Just like, but
I
Look
had
at
really
how-
large eggs, so I didn't add a lot of applesauce to it.
I mean, last chance. Now, if I was making this Caribbean style, I would put a little bit on the down here. I put some garam masala spice mix,
Oh, really?
which is like what? Cinnamon, cloves, cardamom. What else is in garam masala? I don't know. Or you can just put, you know, like basically.
Well, they usually add curry too, I think.
All right. I think it's finally, I added a whole cup of water and it's finally like liquided in enough to pour.
I mean, I'm not sure if I have to use, because yeah, I mean, the eggs I get here are not the same as the ones I get in Guayaquil, because last time I used I think I did use the whole juice of the can, and that was it. But this one is still very like
Thick.
thick. Yes, thick. Thank you. So is it any different if I use milk or water?
Water is looser than milk.
I mean, I just use water usually because,
Yeah.
but
Really?
Usually use milk, but it depends if you're lactose.
You know, the thicker it is, the more dense your cake.
so if you add milk, it makes it
Which make
lighter, right?
So, are you putting your your pineapple in there now? Or
I am. But
okay, I'm gonna start doing that.
So I have a question. My cake is pretty thick and I only added 2 cups of flour and I added probably another half a cup of liquid and it's kind of like a, can you see that?
you want it to be pourable.
yeah, mine is.
It is
Ano-
sort of. So it's okay not to add the final 2 cups of flour because it would have been like stiff.
Well, that's what theirs is thick. It turned out to be too thick.
So just don't worry about
And
putting,
yours is that thick. Did you put all your eggs in there too?
I have 4 eggs in there and probably about a whole cup of pineapple juice.
Wow. Yeah, because mine, I had to add another cup of water to mine, but I have 4 cups of flour.
So do you think I can just leave it be and not worry about adding any more flour?
You just have less cake, yeah.
Oh.
You have
Oh.
you have, what do they call it? A diet recipe?
So what's gonna happen is they're just gonna be shorter cakes, but that'll be fine. Okay, I'm gonna go with this. So what are we doing next? We're putting the rings on the bottom in some sort of cute fashion.
Yeah.
Cute fashion. Oh, crap, I messed up. I did not completely mess up. I have a little extra piece just for me to eat.
Me too.
So I guess I can't ask Isabel. Isabel, do you just do it like this? Just put the
What?
pineapple and then just pour the cake over it? Oh,
Your cherries.
But
I forgot.
yes,
to
the cherries,
Yeah, I put cherries on mine too.
I forgot to preheat the oven.
the oven, I
Anybody
said I
else
was turning
remember?
mine on. I was not able to cherry.
I never do the cherries. I think they taste horrible.
Oh, I love them.
I mean, ever since I've had real cherries, I just
Well,
like
these
that stuff
aren't
in
real.
the
They're just
can.
all sugary.
Well, I looked it up and they actually bleach them white and take all the flavors out of them and then add back color and artificial flavor to the canned cherries. Oh, wait.
To the really red ones, the maraschino ones?
Yep, that's the process of canning that they get cherries that they bleach them white and then they add red color dye and artificial flavor. Let's see.
I wasn't able to get any cherries here at the beach. And I did go to the supermarket, but they didn't have any.
Yep.
Isn't cherries a northern thing? I mean, do they have cherries in South America? I mean, besides at the store. They grow in northern climates, right?
No idea.
Okay. I forgot to look up what temperature to cook this in.
350.
Oh, I don't remember, but I put my oven at
200.
I think it's, but I use Celsius. Oh, or this is Fahrenheit, I don't know. But almost at the highest temperature I can.
Which is?
I have to look for a picture. Okay, so I'm at my parents' house at the beach, and my dad cleaned the kitchen so thoroughly that he raised the numbers.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I did that on my on my egg timer. I had to buy a new one. Like I cleaned it and I wiped all the numbers off of it.
Uh-huh.
So I had to get a new one.
Well, I'm putting mine in the oven.
I forgot to. Barbara's the only one who remembered to preheat it, huh?
Oh, yeah, I did.
I remembered.
I preheated mine.
I remembered to preheat mine. I almost put it in the oven, except I haven't put my batter in yet. So here's what mine looks like.
Oh,
This is
that's
what mine looks
bad.
like before.
So
Here's
it just
mine
has a layer of
before batter.
pineapples. You have to put the batter on the top, huh?
So I'm using apples and bananas.
Just like, wait a second. Are you following the recipe at all? No, just kidding. So you put applesauce instead of eggs.
Oh no, I used 4 eggs, but then when I needed to thin it out, I used applesauce.
Okay. So you added applesauce and then the layer you have on the bottom is apples and bananas.
That is correct.
I really like doing apples and then again putting like a pumpkin pie spice on top, and I make a apple upside down cake.
Nice. Banana upside down cakes are amazing.
I've never had one.
Did you do anything with the juice? With the juice of the pineapple?
It was in the batter.
It was in the batter. Okay.
Mhm. I used 1 cup of the pineapple juice in the mix, and then I had to add half a cup of milk because for some reason it was too thick.
I got my spring pan out. I'm gonna. Isabel, I think this is a record how many people are cooking with us.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw the number, I was freaking out.
How
Freaking
many
out.
are cooking? 5 are cooking.
And she's like, I'm on vacation. I shouldn't be cooking. No, you're like me, I think. You like cooking regardless if you're on vacation or not.
Yeah, I like baking. Cooking, not so much.
See, I'm the exact opposite. I like cooking, baking not so much. So for me, this is very nerve-wracking.
Oh no, I like it. And
Well,
my family likes it too, so.
after this is all baked, I'm putting it in a tray. I hope it works. And they're having a little patio birthday party out in front of in the courtyard. So I'm taking it so I don't have to eat the whole thing. Because when you're one person, you just can't
Yeah,
have all
we
that
actually,
food around.
yeah. Yeah, my parents are at a birthday party. We have some relatives that live in front of us. And so they're gonna have double cake today, the one over there and mine.
Very good.
All
Okay,
right.
so mine's ready.
I'm doing two. I did one in a spring pan and one in a cake pan.
Is it your birthday, Barbara?
What, honey?
Is it
Oh,
your
no.
is it
My
your
birthday
birthday?
is until July.
Oh, okay.
It's somebody that lives here. I live in a senior complex.
Uh-huh.
So there's, a lot of oldies but goodies.
Oh, good.
I've been
Something
dreaming, Barbara, of getting invited to oldie but goodie parties.
Oh,
Always
I
good
wish I
food.
could too. I like them.
What were your dreams about?
Oldies.
My dream is to be able to eat all the food.
Oh, I
It's
see.
always good food.
But the funny thing is that at least where I've lived in different senior complexes, people, when they get old, they don't want to cook anymore. They just want to use the microwave. It's true. They only cook when they have a family.
Both my grandmother and my mother didn't know. My grandmother didn't start cooking until she was 70, and my mother didn't start cooking until she married my dad. They both lived in a community where you could just, that had a cafeteria. You just go pick up the food.
Well, my father always told they got married when they were about 20, 21, my parents. And they always tell the story about how my father had to teach my mother how to boil an egg and make toast.
I mean,
But
that's
my
why
mom
I'm a
was-
good cook, because I thank my mom regularly for not knowing how. So,
Oh.
like, you don't like my food? Make your own.
Oh. Yeah, you become such a good cook.
We actually got a sign that said Mom's Kitchen menu. 1, take it. 2, leave it.
So how long should I
Oh.
set the timer? When do I want to check it?
I forgot to set the timer.
I never opened the oven during the first 25 minutes because it takes longer. It takes about 45 minutes to be ready, but it depends on the oven. In mine, it takes around 45.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How come so long? Because it's big, you did a lot?
I think because of the size.
Uh-huh.
So you're
So
actually
I'm doing
making,
two.
how
I've got
thick-
two.
I forgot, Isabel, how thick was your cake? It's like,
I feel it because last time I did it, I had to split it in two because actually I made mini muffins with cherries on the bottom because it
ooh,
was
that's
too
a
much.
good idea. So you can just,
The pan.
I just thought of an idea. So I've got these. Next time, I've got these mini. What do you think? A pineapple will fit perfectly
Oh,
in
they
there?
would be perfect.
Let me see.
Perfect.
I have, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
They're so
perfect.
You make a
cute.
personal, that's a great idea.
Yeah, but the problem is getting them out of the pan.
Next time I'm gonna make a bunch of little ones.
But here's a pineapple on the bottom, so that's good. Because
just
that is a way to let it go. That's perfect.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I'm
actually, yeah, if I put the
things
pineapple-
for-
I think you'd have to put the brown sugar on the bottom and then
Yeah.
put the pineapple.
Aren't those little things for like baba rums and stuff like that?
Well, I make little rum cakes with these.
Yeah, rum cakes.
I make a little pound cake in there, and then I take it out and I pour butter rum sauce over it.
Ooh, that'd be good.
All right, any final questions?
How many, she said 20 minutes for how much degrees and how much degrees after that?
Okay, I'll have to turn my camera
Well,
also.
I set mine at 350.
For 20
350,
minutes?
I've got 30 minutes, but I probably won't take 30 minutes. I don't know.
Doing 200 Celsius, so like, you know, I split mine into 2 cakes.
Okay.
And so I think because I split it into 2 cakes, it'll cook faster.
And then, you know, did you do 4 cups of flour?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a pretty big cake.
But still, what degree difference from the beginning to the end of the stage?
350.
Which is 180 Celsius.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's in North Carolina.
I think I have mine at 175, something like that, because I was looking for the picture where my dad, I mean, we use a picture to check the temperature because my dad erased the number, but I can find it. But I think it's 175 Celsius
Okay.
or 180.
And then slow cook it for a while. And all right. Any tricks? I think the one trick is live in a country that has good quality white sugar.
Yeah, I use the regular one. Whatever brand I buy, it's always the same.
Yep. Was it the difference between, I don't know. I forgot to look it up beforehand so I'd remember the difference between cane sugar and beet sugar and the process, and I don't know. So, all right. Any final words, Isabel?
Nothing. I hope the cakes are good and that you enjoy it, guys.
Oh,
Well, I hope mine turns out.
I hope you enjoy the beach party. And well, let's see, you have the beach party in your cake and Barbara has a birthday party. So I have no pressure. It's only for me. So it's like, I'll either like it or I'll eat the whole thing anyway.
Or you'll put it out in the refrigerator out on the porch.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it's really good, I'll put some samples out there for my neighbors to come get some.
So quick question about the finale. We test it like a regular cake with a toothpick. It's got to come out clean. Then what? While it's still hot, you turn it upside down.
Yeah, but you have to wait a while. You have to wait till it gets a little cool, maybe 10 minutes or so before you can spring it out.
Yeah,
So
I have to wait for about 20-25 minutes because it's always hot here. And then I demold it. And then that's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, I'm gonna
Bye,
stop the
Isabel.
recording
Thank you.
and
Have fun.
feel
Thanks,
free to
Isabel.
hang out and